A young man saw his wife driving with her male confidant, yet he acted as if nothing was amiss. Even when the male confidant shot a taunting look, he played it off as though he hadn't noticed. He could only slip away silently, then began preparing for their wedding anniversary with his wife. He carried on as if nothing had happened, and maintained a harmonious front with his wife. His motive for this was to bring his wife's downfall and disgrace. Before this, he had always refused to believe his wife would cheat, since everyone knew his wife's love for him was one of a kind. Once seen as the perfect couple by others, they had become a harsh lesson for the young man. The love he cherished had been completely shattered by the male confidant. The young man was not only an artist, but also came from a well-connected background, yet he'd fallen for a woman who loved cultivating numerous male friendships. In the end, love had brought him nothing but endless betrayal. Gazing at his wife, who was tender as water toward him, he suddenly felt a wave of nausea and vomited. In the face of his wife's doting care, he found himself instinctively recoiling. It turned out that once something is tainted, an unbridgeable chasm truly does form. The next day, they went out for dinner. When the male confidant saw the young man was there, he immediately frowned with displeasure. The young man deliberately tried to rile him up. However, the male confidant and the woman exchanged a subtle, secretive gesture. The male confidant excused himself to use the restroom, and the wife told the young man she needed to use the restroom too. The young man knew exactly what they were off to do, but he chose not to disrupt their tryst. While the pair was having a secret encounter, the young man, consumed by betrayal, was scheming his revenge. After their liaison, the wife said to the male confidant, "I'm planning to renew my vows with Yifan on our anniversary. I can give you money, and even have your children, but I won't give you any official standing." When he got home, he heard his brother-in-law jeering at him, since they'd always dismissed him as a good-for-nothing shut-in. What they didn't realize was that their entire livelihood depended on the young man's quiet support. Without his help, the whole family wouldn't be able to put food on the table. When the young man emerged, their attitudes instantly changed. "Honey, are you setting up an anniversary countdown?" "Yes," the young man thought to himself. "This is the countdown to your public disgrace." The young man instructed his secretary to book all public advertising screens across the province, and on the anniversary, broadcast the video that would ruin her reputation. Tens of millions across the province would be watching. On the anniversary day, as the host recounted, the young man and the woman 7 years together, inviting everyone to celebrate their love. Just then, the young man signaled his secretary to play the video. At the sight of the video's content, the entire audience was struck with shock.